This video will take you through how to set up and build the C100 from the Kitroom. Firstly, take your camera out of the bag and attach it to the Manfrotto tripod. This camera comes with a plate attached for ease of use. Always make sure it's secured firmly on your tripod so it does not slip. Now grab your top handle and slide it into your camera's shoe mount. Screw this down to secure it in place. You must now connect this audio cable from the handle to the camera body. This connection contains a number of delicate pins. Carefully match the arrow on the cable to the body and gently push the connector in. To connect the supplied condenser mic to your camera, ensure the rubber spacer is attached to the mic and mount it on the mic holder. Now use the supplied short XLR cable to connect the microphone to your camera. To power the camera, connect the supplied Canon battery, match the connectors and slide it into place. To unlock the pan axis of your tripod, use this screw. The tilt control is located on the side of your tripod head. Loosen and tighten this to govern the speed of your tilt. Use this screw to unlock the pan handle to gain your preferred working position. This tripod is on a ball head. Use the handle underneath to unlock this. Align up the leveler on the tripod head to make sure you are not off kilter. Tighten this up again to secure it in place. Turn this dial to camera to power on your C100. To change your lens on the C100, press this button and turn your lens anti-clockwise. This will lift out the mount. The C100 accepts both EF and EFS lenses. To mount the lens back on, match the white or red dot on your lens to the corresponding colour on your mount and turn it clockwise until it locks in place. The C100 records to SD cards. You can house 2 in the camera body. This panel must be flipped down to allow recording. To switch between each card, use the slot select button on the panel. A green light will indicate when an SD card is ready to record. To access the menu on the C100, use this button. To navigate around the menu, use the joystick on your side handle. The first thing to set up is your recording options on your camera. To change this, head to the setup menu, marked with the spanner, and scroll down to the frame rate option and choose PF25. Now let's walk around the C100's monitor to better understand the display and its information. This indicates the battery level. This shows your selected SD card and the amount of recording time left available. This is your standby or recording signifier. This displays your timecode. This notes your current frame rate and bitrate. This shows your audio levels. The bottom left-hand side of your monitor shows your camera's exposure settings. To change your camera's ISO, hit button 13 on your camera body. This will highlight your ISO settings in orange. If a subject is in orange on your LCD, it means it can be changed using the joystick. This camera's base ISO is 850. This is notified with a set of brackets which appear when choosing this setting. It is recommended that you light for this exposure sensitivity, as pushing up your camera's sensitivity instead of increasing its light in your scene will cause noise in your image. To change your shutter speed, hit button 14 on your camera body. Here you can cycle through and adapt this. Remember, your shutter speed should be double your frame rate to produce a natural looking motion in your image. To change your aperture settings, use the wheel on your side handle. There is also a light meter inbuilt in the camera to help you expose your image. You also have a built-in set of ND filters on your C100. You can change their strength using this wheel. This button allows you to change the camera's white balance. Here you can scroll through some presets like daylight and tungsten, as well as an auto-generated white balance. It is not recommended to use an auto-generated white balance, as this can change the colour of a person's skin tone if moving from different lighting environments. You should instead use the Kelvin setting to dial in your correct white balance. This is shown with the icon K from the list. When in this option, push the joystick to the right to dial in your appropriate white balance. You can also use this button, which will create an auto-generated white balance based off a white card that you put in front of the lens. You can set two values, marked as A or B. When an icon is flashing, it is unset. When it is solid, it is a stored setting. There are three recording buttons on the C100, one located on the side handle, another on the camera body, and one on the top handle. This recording button can also be locked for when the top handle is in use. This will show on your screen when you are recording. To play back your footage, turn the camera dial to media. You can then control the camera's playback settings using these 6 buttons on the back of the camera. The C100 records 2 channels of audio. The external inputs and controls are located in the top handle. Here you can change the type of control of each input, either manual or automatic, as well as the voltage level for either a microphone or a mixer. The supplied microphone requires phantom power to work. If using this, choose mic plus 48 volts. This option controls if you wish to take your recording from the external input located on the back side of the top handle, or from the internal microphone of the C100. These 2 dials control the gain of each channel independently. Further audio controls can be found on the audio menu in the camera. Depending on if you have the internal or external source set, it will show up with the corresponding options. To monitor your audio, use the headphone jack located at the back right of the camera. This also houses the remote jack connection, a USB input, a full-size HDMI output, and a DC power input. Now let's look at some of the other key features inside the C100's menu. In the camera menu, you can adapt your sensor to crop in to match an EFS lens's image circle, as the C100 Super 35mm sensor is slightly larger than the image circle of the EFS lenses. Here you can add in your color bars as a reference. Here you can change the mode settings of your ISO, shutter, and iris, for example, from shutter speed to angle or ISO to gain. This is the monitor and viewfinder menu. Here you can adjust the display settings. For example, you can activate peaking and adjust to best match your preference of strength. This can also be turned on and off by using button 9 on the camera body. You can also configure your zebra settings, allowing you to adjust your target IRE. This can also be turned on and off by using button 10 on your camera body. This menu allows you to adjust your timecode settings. Use this menu to adjust your camera's waveform settings. With this on, you can see an accurate lumosity map of the IRE values of your image. When this is on screen, however, it blocks the visual of your audio levels. This can be quickly accessed by hitting button 11 on the camera body. The C100 can also change its recording type to allow continuous recording across cards and dual recording for an active backup. Use the Initialize Media tab to wipe your SD cards. When you're finished with your camera, reset it to factory defaults. To do this, head to the System menu and click Reset. For any questions about this item, or any from our store, contact the Kitroom.